Awesome. Ooh, boy. That is some poetry.
You ready?
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Peter Barber here, professional opera singer and music producer, and today we are back with Alice in Chains for the second time ever. And I actually have never heard this song from them, and I've gotten so many requests after doing my first video, which I'll link here, to do this one, and specifically this live performance. So let's see what Lane does in this performance. I'm very excited to see it. Guys, please do like and subscribe. Check out my Patreon if I am enhancing your musical experience. And otherwise, let's dive in. Super excited to check this out.
This next song is about pain. It's called Love, Hate, Love.
Before we get into it, yeah, super cool, and really setting the scene for what I can only imagine is going to be an emotional song with a lot of gravity to it. You can already hear that in Lane's vocal when he first comes in, not even singing words yet, but you can feel that pain in that very first note that he sings, which is just amazing. And that's artistry right there, to be able to immediately bring the audience in and kind of let them know what you're feeling and what you're experiencing through the music. And so far, the kind of spaced out drums with this really cool, C-sharp minor. Yeah, we're in C-sharp minor. Just the way the drums and guitar and interacting, coming in with Lane's, just his very first vocal line, you're like, all right, like I get it. I get what's happening here. But let's back it up just a few seconds and go forward.
I tried to love you. I thought I could. I tried to own you. I thought I would.
I love how Lane allows vibrato to come in on the end of these phrases. Not super common in grunge rock to hear vibrato singing, so it's really cool to hear that. Starting pretty low and like low middle in his range. So we're like right around E3, E flat 3, somewhere in there. Lane, of course, a tenor voice or a high baritone voice, sometimes there's no point in really labeling voice types outside of the classical world, because if you're a rock singer or a grunge singer, you're not bound by like specific repertoire or roles, like operatic roles you have to sing that have all these very specific demands. It's like you do with your voice what's going to serve the music best. But as far as just like a raw blanket based on his vocal range, definitely like some kind of tenor or high baritone. So right here, we're in like the low middle for him, middle voice for most people. Obviously in a very, kind of subdued place, giving the song a long way to grow, right? This is a great place to start a song, because if you start a song too big, then you have nowhere to go. But we have a long way to go in the song. I can see a climax happening around like minute 5. That's going to be epic. One more thing. He puts an R in the word. I think he says could, but it's like Could. He puts like an R in there, and I think that's sometimes you hear that in this style of music and singing. I don't know why that became a thing, but I don't think he's the only singer that does it from this time period in this genre.
Thought I could, I tried to own you. I thought I would. I wanna peel the skin from your face before the real you lays to waste.
I want to peel the skin from your face before the real you lays to waste. Ooh, boy. That is some poetry.
Before the real you lays to waste. You told me I'm the only one, sweet little angel. You should have heard.
God, okay, just in that phrase, there's a lot to talk about. First thing is vocal colors. So vocal colors, for people who are new to the channel, are the quality of the voice, not the pitch, not the volume, but like the vocal quality of the sound. And I love how much he changed it when he went up into this, high, gritty, pretty intense belt, and then the next phrase said like something like "sweet little angel," and he completely changed the quality of his tone, the color of his voice to kind of match that text. It's really awesome to hear that. Basically, when you hear a singer, whether they're singing in your native tongue or a different language, or if you're just listening to the audio, or if you're watching them, you want the same message to be coming across no matter what. It's what we think about a lot as opera singers, is if there wasn't an audience here watching us in costume with the sets and the big production and the big opera house, whatever, would they still be able to get the story just based on listening? And that's where vocal colors come in. So really great to hear him use a really good example of that. And I do want to see how high he gets up in there in this gritty belt.
Before the real you lays to waste. You told me I'm the only one, sweet.
All right, so he gets up to A flat 4. In that really gritty belt, right? So bringing some turbulence into the vocal folds. And I love how he switches into that just on that belt. So it's like clean vocals, clean vocals, clean vocals, and then on that top note, harsh vocals to add some of that emotional gravity to it.
I'm the only one, sweet little angel.
So that color change from the high belt down to sweet little angel.
Sweet
Totally different color.
angel, you should have heard. Lying, crying, dying to leave. Innocence creates my
Oh, I love it when a singer holds a note longer than you expect them to, and not for the sake of just holding the note, but because they're holding on to a thought or an emotion, and so it just goes. And then there's like a few milliseconds at the end where it feels like it's gone too long, and they go a little longer, and it's just like, I don't know, it rapidly escalates that emotion, like how powerful that phrase becomes. Right at the end, if you just hold on for that extra half second, it's like, oh. Very cool. What else was I going to say? I got distracted by that awesome phrase. Oh, yes. He also includes vibrato even when he's doing the gritty singing, which is just cool to hear. Like proper harsh vocal grit singing with vibrato. Very cool.
Creates my
And one more thing about Lane is he has excellent vocal fold closure when he's doing the clean singing. Vocal fold closure, again, for those who are new to the channel, give you a little science here, is how much time per each vocal fold oscillation. They usually go like this. Each time they, as Elizabeth from the Charismatic Voice would say, go wacka, wacka, wacka. Each time they do that, the more percentage of time they're closed during each of those oscillations is what's called the close quotient, and that's how you measure vocal fold closure. And the higher the vocal fold closure, the more brightness, the more cut, the more squealo in opera we call it in the sound. That's what, for an opera singer is what cuts through that orchestra with no microphone, because we don't use microphones in opera. And you have to have that buzz in the sound. And Lane has exceptional cut in his sound. When he's doing those clean vocals, like on that ascending pattern earlier, it's just a very efficient use of the air and the vocal folds, and it has a lot of cut and bite in the sound. Recognize someone in the crowd there. Do you see that? It looked like he smiled and kind of nodded at somebody. Also, I didn't give him credit earlier. He's getting down to C sharp 3. I said E flat or E. He was hovering around there, but he gets down to C sharp 3 there. Again, this is getting towards the bottom of his really comfortable chest range as a higher voice type. But he's still got some room down there. So I would actually be interested to see kind of how low he can sing. You don't often hear grunge or any kind of rock singers singing super low. The sounds are usually, more intense in the upper range. But I just want to see. It looks like he sees someone in the audience here. He's like, "What's up?" Little girl, my twisted passion to be a woman. So you can tell, before he gets back into this big chorus, you can tell there's an effort there for his voice to kind of maintain any kind of power. Down on that C sharp 3, you can tell that's getting towards the bottom of his comfortable chest range. So before he gets up to that grit, you just have this climb of just really efficient singing with that edge. There's such a sharp edge on the sound. Hey, if he had trained as an operatic tenor, I bet he would have cut through an orchestra with that edge. Just saying. He's got really accurate semitones up there. It's really easy for those to not be clear when a singer is performing, to just kind of blur the lines between those semitones because it's such a small step, right? It's just one half step, but he's making sure that those are very, very clear because semitones are often used to show kind of emotional angst or whatever, and so he's using them very well and very intentionally in this song. If you don't hear those semitones clearly apart, it becomes a different feeling.
take my hands back before I kill. I still love you, but I still
Hell yeah, guitar players. I play guitar at a very basic level. One of my closest friends, George, is a professional guitarist in Nashville. Unbelievable what he can do on the guitar, and he's actually playing on some of the songs. He's playing guitar on some of the songs of my upcoming album, which is really cool to be working with a childhood best friend on like professional music. Very cool. But shout out to guitar players. I'm not at the level where I can analyze them, so I just bow down when I hear a guitar solo and then move on. Oh, that was like what he did at the beginning. Drummer killing it, keeping it so consistent back there. I think that's really tough to do, especially this is a very slow tempo. Dun, dun, da, 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 da. It's like 60 BPM. Very, very, very slow tempo, and it's hard to not push a tempo that slow to really keep it. You know, to keep that really even throughout, because the body wants to move a little faster than that. Generally, 60's quite slow. I don't know if it's actually 60. That's just a ballpark guess. There's a high B flat just below tenor high C, right? And this gritty singing is still in a fully chest connected voice. This is not up in a falsetto or a different registration. This is pulling that chest voice all the way up and adding grit to it. This is really one of the most intense vocal sounds you can make, is a belt in high chest voice when you get that yell quality and you have grit in the sound to add some of that intensity and turbulence. So sick. Yeah, this thing about the grunge vocalese where there's like a morphing of vowels all the time. Yeah, like stuff like that, where it's just like constantly shifting. It's like, I think he was just saying like yeah or whatever there. Yeah. But then the vowel goes all over the place. And again, Elaine's not the only one that does this. It's an interesting thing in this style. At least I've noticed it more in this genre than other genres. It surely happens in other genres too. And again, I think the shifting of the vowel plays into the emotion, right? There's there's some kind of metamorphosis happening with the emotion. It's not one stagnant emotion. Therefore, the vowel must shift to reflect that. And of course, these singers aren't thinking like, okay, now I'm going to shift my vowel to evoke this emotion. They're just singing, and then that, because of the thoughts are shaping what happens with the vowels and with the voice, not the other way around. Like love, hey, low. and then he gets back to a yeah. But listen to that, like, that last love, hate, love, and then he like gets back to an ah. It's just like constantly morphing. Awesome. God, just ripping it. Jeez, just like ripping on those high B flats. Love, hate, love. Like that's that is a proper high chest gritty belt. Awesome. Motif again, all right. Low again. Total shift of vowel. Total vowel transformation. You heard it here first. Vowel transformation. Tag it, baby. Well, the fans knew when it was over. I didn't know. The fans knew. Oh boy. Okay. Grunge heads out there. Grunge fans out there. I love me some grunge, but I'm not an expert in the genre. Is this like a really good example of a grunge and then like performance practice of a live grunge performance? You know, like towards the end there where everything I kind of thought the song was over, and then there was like a tag, what you called a tag of like some extra yaz. And then you kind of let the band die out together after that. I don't know. Is this like a really good example of like proper grunge? Let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope I increased your appreciation of Lane and Alice in Chains. R.I.P. Lane. Drugs took him, I believe, is what I keep hearing. A lot of people in the comments are talking about it, which is just awful and just tragic. But I'm glad we at least have videos and music to remember him by. Really enjoy this. I'm really enjoying digging into his vocals, especially. He's got a phenomenal, really unique voice. Really interesting and cool to break down. So I hope you guys are gaining some appreciation for this amazing, iconic singer. If you are, consider joining my Patreon. You can check it out for free. Actually, you can become a member for free. And I'll still post, links to premieres and stuff there for the free members. And then to go beyond that, to get into my Discord server and get all the other benefits, starts at $1. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.